Well, welcome back to another episode of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. And been a while since we done a show and tell now, hasn't it? And I had to really be careful about this because it seems that a couple of my other show and tells are no longer with us. I don't know what that's all about, but you know, it's when somebody wants to shut you up, they try to shut you up. We all know how this goes with the whole political climate of this country. But that's for the Crazy Old Man Wednesday, and let me tell you, the Crazy Old Man's got a shitload of ammunition for this next show, so you won't want to miss that. But anyway, buddy of mine, Kyle from the Pleasure Den of the Absurd, had shot me a PM because he's a big fan of my show, and I'm a big fan of his show. And what he was doing was he was showing a bunch of record albums, or talking about record albums. So that made me think, my dog's right here, what do you want? Made me think, what do I got left as far as record albums go? Because I was a big music lover, still am, for that era when I was coming up. Unfortunately, when the venues changed from, places like the Capitol Theater in Passaic and the Palladium in New York and even Radio City Music Hall into fucking sports arenas, I sort of lost interest. So, in losing interest and being broke half the time, I sold a lot of my record collection off. But I just went through my closet and found out that some of it I didn't sell off, especially a certain artist and a certain group. And I'll preface this by, or segue into this by saying, we had heard, and this is going back mid-60s, that I heard my parents and their friends talking about this group that was on, I guess, the David Susskind show or one of those late night shows called The Fugs. And they were singing some dirty shit. So, of course, being that we were nasty, shitty little kids, we wanted to hear this dirty shit. So, there was a store on Main Street in Orange called McCrory's. It was your prototype Kmart then. It was called a 5 and dime. There was a bunch of 5 and dime stores, but nothing was 5 or 10 cents. But they had a record section. And in the record section, they had 25-cent 45s that were pulled from jukeboxes. Now, normally, going back to that era, a new 45, I believe, was like 79 cents. But they had them for a quarter because they were jukebox things. And of course, I was buying these because I was collecting records back then. And Big Al had a jukebox that he had gotten through some nefarious fucking scheme or deal he had pulled. And we were always down at McCrory's going through this. Well, I was looking for this Fugs album. And what I was looking for actually was, I'm going to dig it out because I have it. I was looking for this. And the band was Ed Sanders, who became an author, Tuli Kuffenberg, Ken Weaver, Len Crabtree, Pete Carney, Vinnie Leary, and John Anderson. And some of the songs were Group Grope, Dirty Old Man, Kill for Peace, Virgin Forest on the Fugs album here. This one had Slum Goddess, Supergirl, The Swineberg Stomp, I Couldn't Get High, Seize the Day, My Baby Done Left Me, Boobs a Lot, and Nothing. Okay, so that's what I was looking for, actually. What I found was this. This garish thing here that was put out, and I didn't know what it was a double LP by the Mothers of Invention. And honestly, I love this album. I basically wore this album out listening to it. I became a huge Frank Zappa fan. I'm not sure. I think this was like 66. I can't be 100% sure, but I'm thinking it was 66. And quickly following that album, I gotta move some shit around here, were a bunch more albums. We had Absolutely Free. We had We're Only in It for the Money. We had this kind of orchestral thing, Lumpy Gravy. And we had this sort of 50s throwback, Reuben and the Jets, Cruising with Reuben and the Jets, with Frank as a young Frank on the back of the album. So, like I said, became a huge, huge Frank Zappa fan. Huge to the point where, okay, I could hold the rest of the shit up because I never got rid of it. Hot Rats. Frank Zappa's Hot Rats. The Zappa Beefheart combination, Bongo Fury, live in concert from Texas. Another good one. Sinister Footwear, basically an orchestral thing here that was done with Frank's stuff. Let's see. Ship arriving too late, The Sound of Drowning Witch. Valley Girl was on. This is a more, currenter one here. Let's see what this one was. Couple of these. Let's see. What the hell was this one? I don't know if this is a boot or not, to be honest with you. It could be a boot. Then Zappa, The Man from Utopia. Oh, there's so many of these damn things. Waka Jwaka. More Frank. Let's see what we got here. Picture disc from Barking Pumpkins Records and Tapes, which I got. I went to see Frank every time he played New York, Halloween show, whatever. The soundtrack from 200 Motels, another really strange-ass movie that Frank did. Let's see what else we got here. We got Roxy and Elsewhere. Let's see. You Are What You Is. Okay, Frank and Moon Zappa, the big Valley Girls single here on an LP. Burnt Weenie Sandwich. One Size Fits All. Just Another Band from LA. I mean, there's a pile of this stuff. I could go, through tons of this stuff, but there's other things here to consider. I did snag the Fugs. I did finally find the Fugs. I got Virgin Fugs, which had the new Amphetamine Shriek, Saran Wrap, the Ten Commandments, a bunch of stuff on it. Coca-Cola Douche was another one. Good album. Another crazy one, It Crawled Into My Hand, Honest. One of those fold-out ones. Actually, this was Warner Brothers Reprise. Reprise, I don't know if this thing folds out here. Yeah, an oldie but goodie that folds out. I don't have a record player to play. I don't have a photograph, actually. I have most of this stuff on CDs. Of course, Golden Filth from Live at the Fillmore East, where I had seen, actually, I got to see a Mothers of Invention reunion concert on Mother's Day back in the day, before they had most of the original members of the band come back. So that was kind of cool. But other things that somehow I kept. A David Bowie live album, double album, which basically had Rebel Rebel, Sweet Thing, Changes, Suffragette City, all kinds of things. It's a double album, 4 sides. Another great band that I loved, Leslie West Mountain, who I actually got to see. I believe I saw that at a college show down in, where the hell was it? Might have been Uppsala College. Pretty sure it was Uppsala College. Patti Smith Horses, I actually got to see her once, really loved her stuff. Another oldie. Quicksilver Messenger Service, Who Do You Love? That one. A 25-minute, 22-second song. And then Mona on the back, Maiden of the Cancer Moon, Cavalry, and Happy Trails. Then the band that actually did a single with Lou Albano. Lou Albano actually managed an RBQ. They did that song, Captain Lou Albano. The Velvet Underground. Who Loves the Sun, Sweet Jane, Rock and Roll, New Age, Head Held High, all kinds of good stuff. I was a big Lou Reed Velvet Underground fan until unfortunately I saw Lou live and he was so fucked up he couldn't play. That ended that. Remember when this jerk-off was relevant? Ted Nugent, and he's only the lead guitar on this thing, Journey to the Center of the Mind. This was probably the only time in Ted's career when Ted was relevant, other than shitting and pissing his pants so he couldn't get drafted and go to Vietnam, but he's a huge Trump supporter. Go figure. What happened with this? Something here. Okay. Icon Gallery was gifted to me by a friend of mine named Chani, and this was her band. This was a few years ago. And then we had, okay, this one's called Nuggets, Original Artifacts from the First Psychedelic Era, 1965 to 1968. We have I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night, Dirty Water, Nighttime, Lies, Respect, No Time Like the Right Time, Oh Yeah, Pushing Too Hard, Multi, Don't Look Back, Invitation to Cry, Liar, Liar, You're Gonna Miss Me, Psychotic Reaction, Hey Joe, Just Like Romeo and Juliet, Sugar and Spice, Please Don't Go, Tobacco Road, Let's Talk About Girls, Sit Down, I Think I Love You, Run, 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 My World Fell Down, Open My Eyes, Farmer John, and It's a Happening. All by the original artists. Wish I had that on a fucking CD. Of course, I had to keep this, Have a Marijuana by David Peel on the Lower East Side. And of course, they had that one song, Up Against the Wall, which was Up Against the Wall, Motherfucker, which we sort of delighted into pulling up to people in traffic and blasting that Up Against the Wall Motherfucker song. Well, Elektra decided to fucking pull the plug on that, and they had it redone as Up Against the Wall Brothers and Sisters. Yeah, censorship was rife back then, and it's coming back. 10-Wheel Drive with Genya Ravan. I saw them once, I think it was at Morris County College. Great fucking band, great singer. I believe she's on Facebook still, too. And then I got Country Joe and the Fish. I feel like I'm fixing to die. It's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop's Vietnam. Yeah, we had that going on. I just picked that up again. Matter of fact, I think, oh well. Rhinoceros. This one's sealed, actually, because I had this on something else. It had basically, I think it was Billy Mundy was the drummer from one of the Mother's incarnations, and he was on there. And this had that that one song. It's a quick instrumental called Apricot Brandy that I think they used in a couple of commercials back in the early '70s. Fraternity of Man, another rare one, which had that song Don't Bogart That Joint, my friend, on it. An oddball. I don't think this is out anywhere. It was on ABC Records, but that's that. Soundtrack. Well, this ain't a soundtrack. It's music from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And what the hell was the other one? Okay, side one was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Then it turned into theme from Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, Aces High, and some other stuff. Soundtracks for those Clint Eastwood westerns are really hard to find, the original ones. Another one, MC5, which had a great song called Kick Out the Jams, Motherfucker. And of course, again, Elektra pulled this back and made it Kick Out the Jams, Brothers and Sisters. Let's see, what else do we got here? The original Country Joe and the Fish album. Flying High, Not So Sweet Lorraine, Death Sound, Porpoise Mouth section. And then this one, they had another one. I don't know how many albums they actually put out all together. This one was another fold-out jobber here. Country Joe and the Fish Together. Had a couple controversial little songs on it that I'm not going to mention because I don't feel like getting fucking thrown off at this stage of the game. I was a huge fan of Janis, really. Janis was a sweetheart. This is basically got a bunch of live stuff on it. Down on Me, Bye Bye Baby, Piece of My Heart, Flower in the Sun, Summertime, Half Moon, Cosmic Blues, Get It While You Can, Ball and Chain. Great stuff. Shame that, she passed away so soon. Genya Ravan went solo and pretty much put out a couple solo albums. This was the back of it. Another fold-out jobber there. Wish some of this stuff was available on CD. The original soundtrack for Fistful of Dollars, with released by Ennio Morricone. Here's the back with some stills from the movie on it. This thing might be worth some kind of money, but I'm not going to part with it for the simple reason this is pretty much all I got left of my sordid youth, except for those comics I showed you. Missing Persons, another spin-off from Frank Zappa's bands. I got to see them on a Wednesday night in an almost empty Capitol Theater in Passaic, and they played all their stuff, and it was a great fucking session. Okay. The soundtrack from Repo Man, another great movie with some great punk stuff on it. I believe I have this on CD, too. Another double Janis one. What was on this? Early performances. Actually, this is the soundtrack from the motion picture Janis. Has some stuff in it here. You know, pretty cool little piece to have if you're a Janis Joplin fan. Let's see. Rhinoceros's second album, still with Billy Mundy. I don't know if this was as good as the other one, but Satin Dolls on this one, Monkey Man, and a couple other things. Another cool album. Okay. An oldie but goodie that's fallen apart, Leslie Gore. She was a huge hit in the late 50s, early 60s, along with Dusty Springfield and some other women singers that really don't get the respect they deserve, but these girls were all over the charts. Another anomaly, The Clear Light, a one-shot band. Basically, this thing had two drummers in the band. That's what made them unique. And their song Mr. Blue was the big hit, I believe. Of course, Monty Python. What is this thing? Now for Something Completely Different. I think it has the Sit on My Face song and stuff like that. Basically all the songs from some of the skits that they did. The Tourists, which I think, who was on this thing now? Oh man, I'm going to be listening to this Dave Stewart. I think it was Annie Lennox. Annie Lennox might have debuted with this band. I'm trying to think. I don't see it on the back. I could be fucking wrong. But they were doing, what was the song I liked? I Only Want to Be With You. It was a different, almost a punkish take on that. Yeah, Annie Lennox, lead vocals. She was with the Eurythmics. She went to be. Here's one. Keith Emerson, before it was Emerson, Lake and Palmer, The Nice. This one was recorded live at the Fillmore East. I don't know when though. Side 2 was recorded live at the Fillmore East. They did a really weird riff with the theme from the Magnificent Seven. That came up. Another strange one-shot band, Aorta, was the main song on that. Your Main Vein. Interesting little graphics here, but I don't think these guys went anywhere either. I could be wrong. Let's see. Deuces, Tees, Roadsters, and Drums. Hal Blaine, who was a drummer, another almost like a surf-type music thing. Pretty much in the same vein as Link Wray and some of those other famous guys. And let's see. Another band I got heavily into, and I refuse to part with any of this shit, is Arthur Lee's Love. This was the first album. And there was a cover done of the song. Was it on this one? No, it's not on this one. They used a lot of this on this film. What the hell was it? Medium Cool. It was almost like a documentary, but they used a lot of music from this album and some Frank Zappa stuff on it with Robert Forster. This was the second album, Da Capo, and the Hooters did a cover on this one song, She Comes in Colors, which is pretty good. I really love this band. This might have been my favorite out of all the albums, Love Forever Changes, which was really good. I never got to see Arthur Lee in Love. Just they weren't around, and I understand that this is the last album I bought of theirs for sale. And basically, I think Arthur got in some trouble with the law and got locked up. When I was still working at Liquidators, I saw this thing too late that they were actually reunited the group and were playing somewhere in Brooklyn, but I couldn't get there because I saw it a day too late, and then he passed away soon after that. Let's go for another one here. Okay. Who didn't? Cheech and Chong. I still got all the Cheech and Chong albums, and they still make me laugh. I got them on CD. But here's the big one, Big Bamboo, and guess what? I still got that rolling paper here. Didn't use it. Might use it later on today if shit keeps up, but I didn't use it. I guess this is probably worth something, and the rolling paper is in it. I should look it up, but I wouldn't sell it. my favorite guys, and I actually got to meet Tommy Chong and get up on stage with him at Rascals Comedy Club and win the Chong Bond. The other one here, this was, what the hell are they doing with this? Was this at the drive-in one or something? Oh, it's sort of stuck together here. Yeah, there we go. That opens up. But yeah, I'm a huge Cheech and Chong fan. This must have been the first album here. This one. Yeah, this one here. And of course, the wedding album. Cheech and Chong wedding album. Which is, these guys are crazy, but, you know, I look back and it was a good time. You know, you could go see a concert for $5. You could go to Woolman Rink in Central Park for $3. And if you thing was sold out, you could hang outside and listen to the music. So it was all good and cool back then. Not so much now, because now these fucking concert venues, what is it, a couple $100 a ticket now? Not for this boy, but I can think back to, you know, the great little venues like the Palladium, the Fillmore East, Capitol and Passaic, and some other ones, and, you know, have fond memories of them. But, you know, seeing a band in a fucking arena really doesn't work for me anymore. It really doesn't, and actually it never did. So that's our little trip down memory lane for today. So above all, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Stay safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.